What is Project 50? Project 50 is a project I've wanted to do for a while, and it's going to be a video series of someone going through the process of starting a trading business from the ground up. The focus on the project is going to really be on the process and getting things started in the correct way. And obviously, to do that, you're going to want to build a solid foundation. So, the project is going to focus on a lot of those basic things you want to do to make sure you have a greater chance of success. As always, we want to keep things as simple as possible. There's tons of different ways you could do this. So the goal of this project is to build kind of a general template with the idea that people who use it can take it, kind of modify it, adjust it, or kind of customize things and really turn it into their own. But the key here is kind of building a general template. The first goal of the project is to create a video series of someone starting a trading business from the ground up and completing 50 trades and then doing a full review of that. Goal number 2 is to create a simple process and some resources people can use as a starting point to create their own trading business. And the final goal, as in any good project, is to see if I can learn anything that may help my personal trading. I've laid out some stages I'm going to go through during this process. Let's go through these one at a time. The first thing I need to do is the basics. And the basics is basically figuring out why I'm going to do this, coming up with a schedule, figuring out which tools I'm going to use, and then start working on myself. A tough part of this is some of these topics, such as the tools, there's so many out there, and you could almost spend so much time just studying these basic tools and the different ones you can use. The other part is the psychology part, or the you, and this is another huge topic. For the sake of this project, I'm going to go through these pretty quick and just kind of show you what I'm going to do, but these are definitely areas that you could spend a lot of time on. The next thing I want to do is basically get started, start figuring out how I'm going to keep notes, get a business plan started, get things kind of laid out and organized, come up with the different routines and reports I want to do on a normal basis, and then start practicing those because I'll probably refine them a little as I go through it. The next stage is risk management, and I need to figure out how I'm going to do my basic management rules as well as how I'm going to do profit protection. Now, at the start, I'm not really that worried about profit protection, but it is something you'll want to deal with later on. Then you want to set up some rewards for performance if you do well. Stage 4, I'm going to start my strategy. And here I got to come up with my basic business strategy. Okay, you're going to trade, but how are you going to make money trading? And I want to figure out maybe what I want to do at the start and some future plans. But at the end of the day, I got to come up with my first strategy and start understanding it. Once I understand that strategy I'm going to use, then it goes into figuring out how I'm going to plan it, what kind of orders to use. And then I'm going to want to build something that I can use as a trade report. So each trade I take has a constant format that I can look through. The next thing I want to do after I understand how I'm going to plan that trade is figuring out how I'm going to manage that trade, as well as when I'm going to do a review and the things I want to include in that trade review. At this point, I want to become proficient at this strategy and really just gain some experience. At this point, I want to understand how I'm going to track my account and my portfolio, as well as coming up with a monthly report. Once everything's good and I feel confident, I then will go through a pre-trading checklist, make sure everything's all my ducks are in a row before I get in there and actually do some live trading, and want to make sure I set some goals for that first few months of trading. Then we start live trading. At this point, you can go either small, and this is something that, if you're kind of nervous about things, might be a good idea, or you can just get in there full force and start regular trading. The big goal is to get through 50 live trades, start to finish, and complete all of them. At this point, this is where I'll go through a block review and then come up with a way to do my larger report. So let's let the adventure begin here.